Hello and thank you for watching RFQ-TV, Radio Free QuickBooks Television. We are live from Studio N25. This is Building 2, Intuit Plano, Texas headquarters. And they actually taxied us over here, which was cool. My name is Woody Adams. I'll be your host for the next 15 minutes or so. We're going to be talking about deciphering the online payroll ecosystem, online payroll offerings that Intuit has. There's about 4 or 5 we're going to break down. But of course, what's really going to be helpful, instead of me just talking here, have Don Brolin and Stacy Kildal on as well. Stacy, how's it going there?
I'm fabulous.
As
How
usual?
are you? Yeah, how are you doing?
Doing well.
Great.
Yeah, liking the snow.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff here. Yeah.
I didn't know there was so much snow here.
No, McKinney does get some.
I'm shocked.
It does get some. Dawn, I know you probably have some back in New England, so.
Yeah, we always have snow. Actually, last year was kind of snowless.
Yeah,
snowless.
We had like a few
Yeah, it's
days
fair.
in February in Michigan where it
I
was
like
like
the
65.
snow.
Yeah.
Shuts down.
Yeah.
I want to shut things down. I want to get in front of the fire so I can do stuff on.
Well, you guys work remote though.
100%.
Pretty
yeah.
much, like
Yeah.
home office kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Right? You're not clocking in and out like
Right.
me. You're not driving in.
No.
Excellent. See?
No,
It's great.
Work my
It's a dream.
jammies.
But I
Call
do
them and
wanna-
work close.
Law and
Call
order.
them- yeah,
Yeah,
heck
L&M.
yeah, heck
But I do
yeah.
want to just make a special
Yeah.
note because every session I say who I'm not.
Oh, right.
All right.
Sorry.
And so I want to make sure that, actually, for this episode, I will not be, and I am not, the biggest loser. But I can tell you, by the next episode, I will be the biggest loser. So we will check. We will see that. Maybe not national. Might not be national.
Right.
But it'll definitely be at 188 Mullen Hill Road.
Right on.
Okay?
That's been a good theme. I
Yeah.
think for these RFQ-TV is what you're not.
Yeah, what you're not.
Things like that.
Right.
You know, because you want to
Enjoyed
be
it.
honest with people. We talked about that with
Yeah.
Brad. We were very, it's all about the trust circle.
Right.
Right. When that
Circle
Brad
of
Smith
trust.
interview, we talked. It was all
Yeah,
about
solid
the truth.
circle of trust.
That interview was
Yeah.
the truth.
And so I want to make sure people know that. You know, again, people get confused who I really am and who I'm really not. So
Yeah.
we've clarified that on a few
Oh, yeah,
other
yeah.
episodes.
We're
So
good.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody for watching and listening to Radio Free QuickBooks. Thanks all our listeners, and hopefully the TV thing works out as well
Yeah.
for you and provides a good, valuable resource. So, online payroll. On November 7th, we had Alvin Young on, marketing
radio
manager.
show. Yep.
Yep, on their show Wednesday night. Don, that was when you were over in McKinney. You were in the dining room. I was in the bedroom.
I was on a
Absolutely.
plane.
Yeah,
Right,
she
you
was
were
on
on
a
the
plane.
I was on a plane.
You were doing the chat from the plane, I think.
Yeah.
Handling that.
No.
No.
No, she wasn't doing anything.
I couldn't get
Okay.
It's okay.
All right.
Go
Well,
ahead.
My
Go with
Wi-Fi
it.
was a little spotty on the plane.
But the reason why I wanted to do that show is that when we were at one of the conferences, you know, online payroll. I know you get questions from peers a lot, and
lot.
I'll get questions here at Intuit as a product specialist. You know, I want to go online payroll. Does my client has QuickBooks Online? So do they use QuickBooks Online Payroll? Do they use Intuit Online Payroll? Do I just add in my Intuit Online Payroll for accountants? There's a new full
Right.
service payroll, and then the Mac payroll is also online. So there's 5 different online payroll offerings that Intuit has, but it's really on the same online payroll platform for
Right.
the most part.
Yeah.
So we wanted to break that down here today. So Intuit Online Payroll and Intuit Online Payroll for accountants. Let's talk about those two first. Stacy, both you and Don use IOP for it.
So just real quick, because
Yeah.
I didn't know if you want to just ask Ralphie if he had a question. I know earlier he
The
was
chicken?
saying something about
Turkey?
it. He doesn't. Okay,
That's the
all right.
mascot.
I just wanted, I just want to make sure before she started because
No.
I know he was going to say something before. But go ahead.
No, he doesn't care about payroll.
That's all right.
He doesn't really care.
He doesn't get paid.
He's a contractor.
He's a contractor. 1099.
Yeah. He's a 1099
$10.99.
contractor. Yeah. So I use IOP4A. I have for close to 2 years now, I think, and I use it in a bunch of different ways for different clients.
Yeah.
Some of my clients, I do everything for them. Some of my clients, I don't do anything for. I set them up. They have access, so they go in, process their payroll, pay their liabilities, do their form filings. I have one client who just uses the time clock feature. That's all they use for it. And they
But it's web-based, so
yeah,
it's,
so they log in, and,
Okay.
and with the time clock, it's really nice, and it integrates with IOP4A. You set up one computer in your office. The employees get a key, 4-digit code. They key it into clock in, key it into
Right.
clock out,
Right.
and it flows. Somebody else goes in, approves the time, and then it flows right into creating the paychecks for them. So it works out really well. And then I have some clients who we kind of collaborate together, which is why I love IOP4A, because they may create the payroll, the paychecks,
Right.
and then I'll go in and pay the liabilities
different
and
levels
do the
of
form
access
filing.
then.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really great. That's
Very
one
cool.
of the reasons why I love IOP4A. It really allows you to cater it to whichever client.
And that's
you
going to be
have.
for accountants who want to do some payroll, but the clients also might want to do some, and they have that relationship. So,
Yep.
Dawn, do you have IOP4A as well?
I do not. I do
Okay.
not. I just use right now,
Enhanced
but
payroll
in
for different.
January
Oh, right.
2013, for those clients that Stacy's
Yeah.
referring about, I'm gonna start switching some over. And primarily,
Nice.
you know, honestly, the one reason.
Yeah, why? What would you?
Because Stacy and I were in the airport, like, I don't know, maybe it was a year ago. I don't even know.
Oh,
I don't know
I
even know
remember
what
this.
day
All right.
it is today. So I don't know how I'd remember that. But we were in the airport and she was preparing payroll, and Jill Ward's referred to that before.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, she's just sitting there on her phone preparing payroll, and I'm like, let me get out my iPad. I'm going to log into a QuickBooks file, and I'm going to prepare payroll. Took me, 3 times
Yeah.
as long as it took her to do it, and
Yeah,
I just
Right.
wanted to be more efficient.
Oh, so you guys raced?
Yeah, I
Yeah, it was
lost.
a race.
I was,
It
a
was a
lo-
race.
I was,
All right.
I was not the biggest loser.
No, no.
But I was the loser.
So IOP4A versus EP4A, right?
Correct.
Enhanced payroll for accountants, right? So it won. And I know there's some reasons to stay on the desktop
Sure.
payroll. That's
There's-
cool.
yeah,
We know
we're-
that.
we're-
There's
yeah,
And I
always
love the
reasons.
We're over
mobile
that.
app,
Right.
and I always
Yeah.
tell everybody it's my favorite app on my phone, which is it gives a little bit of insight as to what a nerd.
Right.
And
Yep.
I have no social life.
Stacy
So-
actually uses her phone more than anyone in the entire world.
Probably, yeah.
So that's the one bucket. IOP, or the accountants that want to do the payroll and the clients too, so that's IOP4A. Another one is the QuickBooks Online Payroll, QuickBooks for Mac Payroll also uses Intuit Online Payroll.
Yeah.
So same platform, but it's rebranded for those products. When you create the checks, they're just there in the register. It's not
Yep.
like you got to do the one-click import, or now I think there's like a simple sync with regular IOP into QuickBooks. But I mean, just for
Yeah.
QuickBooks Online and Mac, those would be within the product.
Yeah.
But a little different because job costing for those?
Yeah, they have job costing for IOP.
Right, for Intuit Online Payroll, but for the QuickBooks Online Payroll, the QuickBooks Mac Payroll, one of the key differences is that job costing, not at least in the payroll portion.
Right.
However, you can go in and assign the job after the
Yeah,
fact,
you
right, to the
can.
check.
Yeah, which is a great point
Yeah.
that Alvin made.
Right, exactly. So,
Not that people want to do that, but again.
yeah, because you said
we're-
they want it native.
They want it native, but you know
I got
what?
it.
Just
Yeah.
for now, we're going to get over that.
Yeah, no.
Just for now, we're going to get over that for now. But we're really talking about the efficiency and those
Right.
clients that you're like, listen, I'm just doing payroll. We're not, we're not getting
Right.
into some, huge enterprise project. We're just
No,
talking
exactly.
about,
Right.
let's just prepare stinking payroll for people.
Exactly.
And I will
do that.
Yeah, exactly. And
fair.
the thing too is you can use IFSP and IOP with the payroll app. You can't do QBOP with the payroll app.
Right,
You actually have
right.
to log into your browser
Good call.
to do, because it is wrapped up inside QuickBooks Online.
And you mentioned IFSP,
Good call.
so into a full service payroll, which we're going to talk about, and Stacy's actually going to do a demo of soon. But they all do. You pay your employees, you can enter the time, automatic tax calculations are guaranteed.
Yep.
Right, and you can file forms. I know Intuit Online Payroll, QuickBooks Online Payroll, and Mac Payroll do have a basic versus plus level. So forms or not, basically, is the big difference.
So I have a big question for
Yeah.
Stacy. So the 941 filing, how is that action happening in the QuickBooks Online Payroll?
You can either print it out, save it as a PDF, and actually send it to give it to your client, however you want to do, and have them sign it and send it in, or you can set it up with e-file. So when you set that up, you can talk to your client, get the information. There's a packet that they will sign to give Intuit the power of attorney so that they can make those payments and file
Nice.
those forms on the behalf of the client. And that's how I set it up for all my clients. So it's literally a couple clicks.
Get the
941
form
is submitted.
signed, but you can even, then you can get the form file, because I think this is really important.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's
e-file.
actually a lot easier
Yeah.
process to go through.
Yeah,
Than the
exactly.
desktop.
Than the
Yeah.
desktop.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Much easier.
Good to
Pretty
know.
key. That's
Good to
pretty
know.
key.
And now with the payroll app, you
Yeah.
can pay liabilities for some
Really?
states. Yeah.
On the app?
On
Ooh,
the
that's-
app.
On your
yeah.
phone? And it's iPhone, Droid, and that's
and,
it? or-
And iPad.
iPad.
I mean, I use it on my iPad.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not a native iPad app.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
it.
I like that. I mean, you guys are mobile anyway, but hopefully it's going to encourage some people they can go there. So full service payroll though. So Intuit used to have this complete payroll.
Yeah.
A while back it was desktop oriented. And we still have assisted payroll. But full service payroll is an online platform.
Yep.
Let's break that down.
So Intuit Full Service Payroll, this is for really when you have clients who, and you are not going to be doing the payroll and they're not comfortable or they don't want to do payroll. It's really Intuit's payroll service.
Right.
And so they can go online, they can enter the time. The full service people will walk them through the entire setup. They'll do the setup for the client. It's really
Yeah, that's
great.
cool.
I
It's
hate
really
setting up
great.
payroll. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
really easy, and they have some things that we kind of call, in case things get a little fat-fingered. You can.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few tools in there that you can use to make sure and compare the payroll that you're doing now with the last one. Say, hey, this is a lot more. Are you sure?
Or if I hit 400 hours by accident,
Exactly,
it'd be like,
so 400.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's nice.
It's really great.
I like an alert.
That's in full service payroll. And before you do the demo, I forgot to mention one cool thing about the Intuit Online Payroll for accountants, the white branding.
Yeah.
So yours says Kildal Services?
Mine says Kildal Services. When they log in to do it, and when they need to call for support, it has my office number.
Nothing about Intuit on there at
Nope,
all?
nothing at all.
So that's pretty sweet.
Pretty
So
hot.
Dawn's
And
good.
it's
hot.
tiered pricing too, so the more clients you get,
Oh, right.
the cheaper it is per client.
Very good.
So you're gonna go ahead, Stacy's gonna go
Yeah,
ahead and
full
demo
service
that?
payroll.
I
Thank you very
am.
much.
I'm
Very
going
cool.
to go ahead and demo that. So once I log in, you just go to fullservicepayroll.intuit.com,
Nice.
and once you're logged in, you can go to your home page and it will allow you you can just say enter payroll info. You can have different payroll schedules set up. So I have my schedule for every Wednesday. I'm just going to click on the button that says enter payday info. And once that comes up, I'm just going to be able to enter the hours.
That is cool.
Yeah. So you can see here I have a couple employees here. I'm just going to check that employee, and he's got some other earnings. He's maybe,
He's maybe selling stuff,
Yeah.
maybe he's getting commissions.
yeah, he's got a commission in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and put in 40 hours, but maybe I accidentally key in 400 hours.
Right.
You can see right there a little box pops up, and it says, if you hover over it, it says,
Yeah.
hey. It says this
Sound
amount
effect.
is significantly
Hey,
different than what you
surprise.
entered the last time that you
Right.
did
Oh,
payroll.
that's good.
So it pops right up, so you can see it right next to it, so I can just go in and change that. It will also do that on the next screen too.
Right.
It gives you another screen. If I click continue, the next screen will have
Yeah.
another option where I can say compare
So
to
there's
last.
plenty of fail-safes before
Yeah.
you actually approve it.
Yep,
That's
so,
cool.
and I can go in and I can just compare that to the last payroll.
Yeah.
I can just click that little button, and it says it's significantly different.
Right.
And so all I have to do is just click on that preview, and it will show me the last pay date right next to the current payday, so
Oh,
I
wow.
can see the difference.
That's really nice.
Right
That
in
is
columns,
sweet.
right
That's
here.
nice.
Yeah, it's really great.
And it's
I
a
can
nice
tell you, as an
workflow.
employer, I do not
Yeah.
want to overpay anybody.
Right.
Right,
To
exactly.
be honest with you.
And it's a good workflow. I mean, things are from that one page where you start. So
Yeah.
full service, I like the full service payroll. Alvin showed us internally for a sales training. It looked really slick.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and if you need to come back, you can say save and finish later, or once you're all ready and you're done, you just say submit to Intuit, and it's done, direct deposit, and that's
Nice.
all the client has to do. It makes it really easy.
Sweet. And
Yeah.
and the only enhancement request I have for that is like a voice over when you fat finger it.
Right.
The wrong hours, like, yeah.
Hey,
Right.
Stop.
yeah.
Some kind of voice.
Or
thing
a
would be
little
cool.
a horn honking. That would be nice. A little horn.
Now that would be difficult to pick which kind of horn. Is it like a wah
Well,
wah,
you
or
just,
what kind of
yeah,
horn is
a
it?
preference. You'd have
It's a
preference
preference.
of
Yeah,
horns,
You could
yeah.
you'd filter.
Or maybe you know what would be the best? The Law and Order. Boom boom.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what
the Law and
we need,
Order.
yeah.
All right, we'll work
I'll
on that.
email them.
We
We'll
can work
see if
on
that's
that.
on the
That would be
roadmap
good.
anytime soon, right? And so those are the key similarities, some differences. But again, the job costing, don't worry, you can do it after the fact. Although we know what you want it native, so I'm sure it's on the roadmap for that.
Sure.
So, Intuit Online Payroll for accountants, Intuit Full Service Payroll, QuickBooks for Mac Payroll, which is online, and QBOP. They all kind of share the same land platform, however you want to look at it. But go ahead.
And I want to mention that IOP and IFSP, they integrate with QBO as well as desktop.
And not just QuickBooks.
Right, and
Right?
other software. If you have clients who are using other accounting software other than,
Which would kind of be silly. but
Right.
Whatever.
I don't know
Whatever.
why you would want them to be
Yeah.
using anything else.
Okay.
But it
Cool.
does integrate with other other accounting systems.
I don't know
So
if Don would talk to anybody that didn't.
I don't think Don
Well,
would.
you probably would.
I would unfriend them.
Well, or you would at least see if you could somehow convert him, and then, if it didn't work
we'd
out,
have a
you'd move
conversation
on.
and then I would unfriend them.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
She would
I'd
unfriend
do
them.
a little bit of that. It's
Fair
okay.
enough.
She wouldn't follow him on the Twitters.
I'm not following them on the Twitters or on the, what do you call it, the interwebs?
The interwebs.
Or a series of tubes now.
Right.
That's what it
Series of
started
tubes,
with.
that's
Right back in 2000.
Back in 2000.
So anyway, we hope that you guys have enjoyed this series of Radio Free Q TV,
Yeah.
Radio Free QB2B, RFQ-TV.
Whatever you want to call
The
it.
sign has it correctly.
Right, yeah.
Just refer to that.
That's my head
We hope
away.
to be doing it again. Been helpful and a nice resource for you guys. Just a call out, thanks Zach Wilson and Dan Lowell for producing it,
Putting up with us.
encouraging us, exactly,
Yep.
keeping us on track.
We've been a little goofy.
Want
So
to
very
shout out
helpful.
to the Kevins.
Got a shout out
Alright.
to the Kevins, both married to a Kevin.
Yep.
It's easier that way.
Yeah.
And Nicola
Yeah.
again, of course.
Yeah, oh, of course, Nick. Yeah.
Kira,
So-
Eric.
Yeah, Eric, Emily, Kayla.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right.
For putting up with,
And we're gonna-
dealing with things when we're not with them.
We'll do this again, other topics, and we're going to hold the shot here. 3, 2, 1, we'll be out, but thanks for listening about
Feedback.
online payroll.
Love some feedback.
Yep, and make sure that you give us your feedback. You can find us on Twitter at Radio Free QB. You can find our LinkedIn group. If you go to LinkedIn
Yeah.
and just search for Radio Free QB.
It's true.
And if you want to watch any more, intuitacademy.com.
Say bye to
Great.
Ralphie.
Hold
Peace
the
out,
shot. Ralphie, 3, 2, 1.
Thanks for watching this episode of RFQ TV. For more episodes of RFQ TV, you can check out intuitacademy.com. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and if you'd like to continue the discussions, you can find us on LinkedIn.